I bought a Pera Tailwhip. It's been about a month and a little over 2,000 miles. Did I make a mistake? Well, after over 2,000 miles and 2 trips, did I make a mistake with this seat? The answer, yes and no. More no than yes, but there was one mistake that I made when getting this seat. We'll get to that. But first, we'll start off with what my first impressions of the seat were initially when I put it on the bike. The first ride, the seat was very firm, yet it does have a bounce to it. Like there's a little bit of rebound when you go over bumps and you kind of just feel it like bump you up a little bit. Kind of similar to how the Harley hammock seat kind of just gives you a little bit of a bounce. But I put this seat on. 2 days later, I hit the road for Savannah, Georgia. Real quick, 1-day trip, just down there and back. Went to Tybee Island, got some lunch with my friend Chino. Rode down to downtown Savannah to go to River Street, which was a massive mistake considering that River Street is cobblestone. And we were on Harleys with solid mount bushing handlebars, and for me, I was on a brand new seat. While that was an extremely fun day, it was also a painful one. Because after about 45 minutes in the seat, my butt was hurting. And I was really wondering if this thing was going to be the right seat for me. After the 6-hour trip and I got home, I couldn't sit on a wooden chair. It hurt too much. At that point, I was really considering selling this seat and trying something else. But because I already had another road trip that was even longer planned for a couple of weeks after that, I hopped on the forums and started looking around and asking people and kind of just seeing what the consensus was. If the Peras needed a break-in period, kind of like another brand that I've had experience with, or if I just made a mistake. And the overwhelming response was that sometimes these seats just take 500 to 5,000 miles to break in, which that's a lot of miles. Some people are super happy with them straight out the box. I was not one of those people. Like the craftsmanship, the way it's made, it's a very well-made seat. I will say that. Pera has been making seats for decades and decades now, and they know what they're doing. But everybody's butt is different, and every seat fits everybody a little bit differently. So instead of jumping on and just selling the seat immediately, I went ahead and rode it out for a couple of weeks. During that time, I did notice that each time I went for a ride, it did seem to feel a little bit better, and I could last a little bit longer in the seat each time. Because initially, I was only making it for about 45 minutes before my butt was hurting. The seat would start feeling warm, or hot, not warm. And I was really contemplating whether I had made a wrong decision on this seat. But I wasn't going to switch it out and replace it with something else in the amount of time that I had before my next trip, which was up to Tail of the Dragon and Blue Ridge Parkway, just ride through the Smokies. Stay tuned to the channel because that video will be dropping next. Actually, yeah, go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications, and you'll get an alert when I drop the Smoky Mountain video. On that trip, I was a little nervous because that was going to be 3 full days of nothing but riding. And I was just praying that the people online were right and the seat would break in. So, cut to the trip. The first day wasn't so bad. We were on the bikes for about 6 or 7 hours total with like a nice couple hour break at Wheels Through Time. And then the next day, we got on the bikes, and somewhere in that ride heading over to Tail of the Dragon, I stopped thinking about the seat as much. It was probably around somewhere between the 1,700 and 2,000 mile mark. It finally started to break in, and I got happy with it, because I couldn't go through having another seat that I was miserable on like I did with my Road King. Thankfully, I came back from that trip, and the seat's been good to go. I really don't have any complaints with it at this point. I don't think I made a mistake on purchasing with Pera. Where I did make a huge mistake was not going ahead and ordering it how I wanted. Instead, I just got the standard pleated in the standard seating position and went with it, because like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to have to sell it or not, and I figured if I got a customized seat, number one, those are more expensive. Number two, it'd probably be harder to sell, and I would end up losing more money on it. Because, as I said, the seat does get a little hot when the weather is above 85. And from some of the other research I did, a lot of people were saying that the basket weave would have actually been slightly cooler seat, pushes more air through. But I wasn't a huge fan of the basket weave pattern until recently. There's a couple of stitching patterns that they do offer that I would have liked to have gotten on this seat, and customize the stitching color and a bunch of little things. That's my mistake, is not ordering exactly how I wanted, because now if I want to switch this seat out for one exactly how I want, I'm gonna have to do the break-in process again. And I definitely don't want to have to go through a couple thousand more miles with my butt hurting on this bike, especially now that this one is broken in. And at this point, I've been on the bike about an hour and a half, and I feel fine. I'm not even thinking about the seat other than to talk about it for this video and describe it. I had been lusting after Pera seats for several years, ever since I had the Road King, because I had a saddlement on it and did not particularly like that seat at all. I put about 13,000 miles on that seat and it never broke in. And once I got on this seat and started having some similar issues, I got very, very nervous. But in the end, I have now become very happy with the Pera. I love the way it looks. Gives a good silhouette on the bike, and the styling is nice. The pleated kind of gives a nice old school effect. So I'm going to be keeping it. This seat will be sticking around unless I do end up deciding later this year or beginning of next year, once the bike gets painted, if I want to go ahead and swap out for a custom stitch seat to match the paint job a little bit. So now to the part of the video where, do I recommend the Pera Tailwhip? Yes. Will your passenger like it? I don't know. I haven't put anybody on the back of this bike since I got it. Not sure if I will, but for me as the rider, I'm really happy with my Pera seat. If you've stuck around this long to the video, thank you. And please think about hitting the like button down below, hitting subscribe, and turning on notifications so you know when I release videos in the future. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.